Alright, bitches, I'm back home. So you're lucky, because here comes your first video in a long time. I'll bet you thought I was dead. No such luck. Here I am. I had this cough. I'm really excited about it. Because when this junk was first put in my face, it made me cough for about, I think, 3 months. I thought I was going to be coughing for the full 2 years or whatever it took for this junk to go away. So I told my coworkers, get used to it, I have AIDS. But then the cough went away maybe about 3 or 4 months in. And but now it's back, and it's been here for a few weeks. And I just passed. Well, today is 10 months and 3 days, so I just passed the 10-month mark. Um, I'm hopeful, obviously, but not. It's so big. I don't know when it's gonna be. But anyway, so I've got this cough, and so what I'm hoping is, since I coughed for the first 3 or 4 months of having it in, maybe the reason I'm coughing now is maybe it's breaking up, and maybe my body is responding to that. Like maybe when it was first introduced, my body was like, "Holy crap, what is this?" And maybe like particles of it were being digested at first, and then that made me cough, and then maybe now it's breaking up and particles are being digested. Do you think it's too much to hope for? I I only have hope. I can only hope. If I don't have hope, I got nothing. So I'm hoping that that's what this cough is. Today, I went back to work for the first time since last Tuesday, and I was, of course, taking selfies and trying to look at, all the junk and all the different lighting. And this woman who works there, she saw me and she goes, "Are you taking selfies?" Or she goes, "Did you just take a selfie?" I said, "Yeah, I just took a ton of them." And I told her why. And she's known me for years. And she goes, "Oh," and she goes, "When did this happen?" And I told her last October. And she goes, "That's what happened." She said she totally noticed when it happened. But she said she couldn't figure out what had happened because she said it looked like, she said it, she said she could have attributed it to the stress of the job getting to me, but it didn't make sense. She said, because it happened so quick. And she said, she goes, "Because he used to have those protruding cheeks." I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And she said when she first saw me, she said she was like, "I know that isn't her face." So she said she had pulled up. She and I had a picture done a while back. So we had somebody take our picture because we were both wearing scarves. And she said she pulled that picture out because it wasn't that long ago. And she said, sure enough, she's like, that. She said your face completely changed. She said, and it happened like overnight. So she said all she could figure was that I had some kind of plastic surgery. And I started laughing. I said, "Plastic surgery to have my cheeks removed?" And we were both just like cracking up. Oh, and I told her what happened, and um, and she couldn't believe that a dermatologist could do this to a face. And it felt good to be talking to somebody who remembered my face. And she said all this time she'd wondered, what had happened to me, but she wasn't going to ask. And then, and then after work, I I went to the store, the grocery store, and I ran into this woman, and she works at my doctor's, and she hadn't seen me in a while, and she asked me how it was going. I said fine, but and I pointed to my face and I told her what had happened, and she couldn't believe it. She's like, she's like, at first, she was thinking I was having an allergic reaction, and I'm like, no, this is just, I said, that's already been ruled out. It's just she injected this much junk. That's why it's big. There's that much junk in there, and you can feel it. And and I told her about the ultrasounds and how it's still in there, and she's like, She's like, even at 8 months, she goes, it hadn't even begun breaking down yet. And I'm like, no. She's like, do you know how many people who get fillers would kill for that? I'm like, they can have it. They can have it all. Like, all I want is all this out of my face. And she said her husband gets this done, like on purpose. Not horribly, not like from a moron, but somebody who knows what they're doing. And and yeah, she couldn't believe it. She told me though that she said, because she did a lot of research because she was concerned for her husband getting it done, and she said that from everything she's read, she said the worst. She said it should probably be is 2 years, which would mean I'm not even halfway through, if that's what it is. Yeah. So today is August 11th. So the good news about taking a vacation for almost a week is that um, I'm almost halfway through August already. The bad news is my whole goal in life these days is to burn through my life and just get through it so that my face can come back. Um, Also, there's news on the internet saying they think Robin Williams killed himself. Robin Williams killed himself, and that strikes me as ironic since I'm watching Mork and Mindy's to stay alive, just to keep myself going. And and why didn't he watch Mork and Mindy to keep himself going? Maybe that could have worked. And then, so I put a post on Facebook saying that I think it's really bad that he died because he had really good nasolabial folds. And I put, you know, about how watching Mork and Mindy is keeping me from offing myself. And then, but meanwhile, he signed off with a final nanu nanu. And two people hit like, and I'm like, what part do you like? Like that I'm trying to keep myself from offing myself, or that I'm that close to suicide? And they're all like happy and excited. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. We'll see if we got more or any comments on that. Let's see. Uh, Jack. Nope, still just the two likes. What I wrote, here's the crappy thing from my perspective about Robin Williams' apparent suicide. He had amazing nasolabial folds. And I have been watching Mork and Mindy shows on YouTube to keep from offing myself, or at least to pass the time between now and 2016. And that show, him in particular, is one of the very few things keeping me going right now. I'd have hung out with him. He didn't need to go bye-bye from Earth, but he signed off with a final nanu nanu. No. And I got two likes. So, like, is it that there's very few things keeping me going? That I'm watching Mork and Mindy to keep from offing myself? I mean, you kind of have to wonder what in particular did those people like about my post? I don't know. Funny thing is when you're this sunk in desperation, people almost don't. You can just put it right in their face, and they don't really believe it or something like. So probably should make my way back to the liquor store. I don't know when. I guess the good thing is with me going up north on the weekends, it's keeping me from becoming a raging alcoholic. Because I'm not going to drink during the week. That just seems. I mean, if I haven't drank in all the 2000s until this one other night in like 2007, was it, or 8, and then one night because of this, I don't know. My life has just been horribly degenerated because of this thing. My toes look pretty good. I mean, it's pretty bad when, like, the thing that I used to be the most mortified about is now probably the best looking thing on my body. I'm eating pure crap because of this junk. I read today that in rats, a high fructose diet broke down their hyaluronic acid quicker. So now I guess I'll go to a high fructose diet, probably mess up my whole body, just trashing it with sugar, just trying to get this to go away. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. It's so hard to make it through the day. I go to work and I try to think, and I can just feel the stuff. It feels like a knife in here. Times I just feel like ripping my head off, ripping my face off. I wish I was on Scooby Doo. You know how they did that? They would just go and they would peel their face off. Oh God, if only. I mean, it gets to a point where you kind of can't remember what it feels like to feel comfortable anymore. You know what else is weird? I've never told anyone this before, so true confessions. And I have 29 seconds to do it. When I put my fingers over it, I can feel my blood just pumping. But if I put my fingers on other parts of my face, I don't feel that. But there, it's like throbbing. I can feel it. It's weird. All right, well, that's the end of my awesome video on August 11th, 2014.